Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video here at my YouTube channel. It's been quite a while since I actually filmed a card video, so I'm a little rusty, so please excuse me if I'm a little fumbly today with my voiceover. Today I'm going to be using a stamp set, some pattern papers, and some Perfect Pearls powder from the Simon Says Stamp January 2015 card kit. This came out a couple weeks ago and I was away on vacation and then sick when it was first announced and released. So I thought maybe for my first card kind of back, I would play with this card kit. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to be embossing the sentiment in some white embossing powder. I'm stamping it in some Versamark ink. And I did want to mention that my nails are super short right now. I had a sort of bad experience with shellac nail polish. I got a manicure while on the cruise ship and they had to take off the gel polish that I had applied myself, and the girl who was doing it was not very patient at all, and she filed down the top, like the surface of my nails to get all the gel polish off. Really, she could have just let it soak longer, but she was impatient and filed my nails down to where they were paper thin. They've never been this thin before. And so once I took the shellac polish off that she had applied, once I took that off, my nails were super, super thin. They're extremely damaged at the moment. I don't think they've been this bad for years. And because of that, I had to trim them down quite a bit. And they're the shortest they have ever been, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to let them be naked for a couple of months, hoping to let them be more healthy. I'm going to try to get them back to the length they were before. So after the embossing that I did for the sentiments, I'm moving on to some more stamping. I'm using the Lots of Snowflakes stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm just going to stamp those into Versamark ink as well. I did want to mention that the stamp set I used previous to this, the one that had the So Much Thanks, that is the stamp set that is in the card kit. It's one that I designed, and you can get that stamp set separately from the card kit. So if you just want the stamp set, you can definitely buy the stamp set separately. So I'm stamping down those snowflakes, and then I'm going to be applying some Perfect Pearls powder, and I'm just putting some white scratch paper down, and I'm going to be using this is the color that comes in the kit, and the kit also has a brush for application. So I'm just going to kind of pounce the powder onto these areas, and it's going to stick to that Versamark ink, and coat the Versamark ink with the Perfect Pearls powder. And this Perfect Pearls powder has a really pretty purple shimmer to it. It's really unusual. You can't really get this with an ink really unless you're using some sort of metallic ink. So I'm just going to take this over to my trash can and kind of shake off the excess, and then take that brush and really brush the surface of this pattern paper to get off all the excess powder. So that just took a couple of seconds, and then I'm back, and you can see that it puts a really nice kind of metallic shine on those snowflakes. In order to set these so they don't smear or smudge, you just have to add a little bit of water. So I'm kind of spraying my mist, my water mist bottle, and then just kind of fanning the paper through it. And you can tell that the paper got enough moisture on it because it started to curl. So I'm going to take my heat tool and heat that up until it dries. And you can tell it's dry as the paper starts to come back to a straight form instead of not being curled. So I'm also using another piece of pattern paper from that kit. Just cut it down to be a little strip, and I'm going to be placing that behind this other one. Now this pattern paper is 6 inches tall, and I didn't want to lose any of that really nice gradient, so I'm going to be making my card base to be 6 inches tall as well. I'm going to make the card 4 by 6. So I've cut 2 pieces of cardstock, and one is slightly larger than the other. One is 4 by 6 and the other is 4 by 6.5. I scored the bigger one at 6, and that created a flap for me to adhere the 2 pieces of cardstock together. And then I'm going to add some Tombow Extreme adhesive to that flap. And then I'm going to hold the 2 pieces of cardstock together so they're lined up perfectly, and then I can fold down the flap and adhere them together. So here I go. I'm going to put those together and then fold down the flap, and then now I have a 4 by 6 card. You could make a 4 by 6 card out of 12 by 12 cardstock, but since I didn't have any 12 by 12 cardstock to make a card like that, I decided to glue those 2 together. I then adhered that diagonal striped pattern paper onto the card front. And then the other piece that I was working on, it's just paper, it's not cardstock. And I knew it would kind of sag or not be as strong with a dimensional adhesive underneath. So I had to put quite a bit of foam adhesive. It's kind of overkill, but it makes it so that it's strong enough that it's not going to kind of droop or sag in the center of that area. I then took my scissors and cut out a little notch in the top fold of the card. This is so I can feed some baker's twine through the little hole and tie some string around my card. So I just tied the string into a bow and trimmed off the tails so that it wasn't too long. And then I'm going to take some more white cardstock and die cut some snowflakes. These are 3 different snowflake dies from Simon Says Stamp. They are the, let's see, Rylan, Melody, and Abby snowflakes. And I just placed those onto the card and then took my Tombow Mono Multi Glue and added some glue to the center of the snowflakes and then put them directly onto the card. I didn't bother putting adhesive on the entire surface of the snowflake because I sort of wanted those edges of the snowflake to sort of flap up a little bit, give it a little bit more dimension. So I'll just adhere that last snowflake and I'm going to put some adhesive just right around the center ring of that snowflake. And then I'll go ahead and press that down. I also wanted to add a few hearts to this snowflake area. So I took my pre-cut hearts from the Simon Says Stamp Mini Hearts die set. I just always have a bunch of these on hand. I just cut out a bunch of white hearts and then I never have to take the time to die cut them again. And I just took 3 hearts and adhered them down with some of that same adhesive. And this is going to finish up the card. I like how it fills the whole area and then it's a slightly different dimension than my usual card. This one is 4x6. So there you can see the little bit of the shimmer from the Perfect Pearls and all those snowflakes. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and looking forward to New Year's as well. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys next time. On screen right now are some more videos for you to check out. The first one is my last card video, which was, I think, 2 weeks ago. It was that long ago, or maybe even 3 weeks ago. And I hope you'll check that one out. In the center is a Q&A video that I did with Jennifer McGuire. Lots of tips and tricks in that video. And then that last video is actually a guest video that Jennifer did for my YouTube channel. She did some inking and made them into shaker cards, and they're super cute, so I hope you'll check those out. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.